somebody like Deshaun, who has a tough road to travel. I was back in Chicago at Hyde Park High School talking to some folks who are part of a program called BAM. These are young men, mostly juniors and seniors, that are about to graduate, but they've had some challenges along the way, and I explained to them, I'm just like you, except I was in a more forgiving environment. So if I made a mistake, I had a second chance, or sometimes a third chance. For young men like Deshaun, sometimes the margin of error is much smaller. And so when you see a young man like that stand up here, going to school, ready to do what he needs to do, it's a reminder of why what we're trying to do here is so important. Because there are Deshaun's all across the country who are ready to make incredible contributions to our society, but they're only going to do so if those doors of opportunity are pried open for them. So, I've said in the past, our top priority has to be to grow this economy, to strengthen the middle class, but also to build ladders of opportunity into the middle class. And we got to do everything we can to make sure that if you're willing to put in the effort, you can find a job that pays well, that you're able to find the basic security that allows you to support a family. And right now, despite all the progress that we've made over the last 5 years in working our way back from the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression, we're not where we need to be yet. And government has a critical role to play, but the non-for-profit sector, our businesses, our community organizations, they've all got a critical role to play as well, and that's what all of you represent. I'm not going to be satisfied until everybody who wants a job can find one and can get the skills they need to find a job. That includes making sure that our young people get the kind of work experience they need year-round and through summer jobs, because that one job can shape a young person for life. It can give them a sense of what's possible. It can create habits that carry on for a lifetime. It can give young people a sense that what they do matters, and that they're accountable and responsible to others as well as to themselves. And if we're making sure that everybody has that chance, then this country is going to be just fine for a long time to come. If we don't, then we're going to have problems. Even if a few of us are doing very well at the top, what has always made this country great, the notion that everybody has a chance, everybody can succeed, that starts to erode. And later on, you're going to have a chance to hear more about Deshaun, as well as Abraham, Tiffany, and Emmanuel. And they're remarkable examples of how what all of you have done is making a difference. Earlier this year, I challenged cities and counties across the country to partner with businesses to encourage employment opportunities. Mayor Nutter is just one example of the remarkable mayors who took this challenge to heart and just pushed it forward. And over the last 2 years, mayors like Mayor Nutter, companies like Jamba Juice. I used to get Jamba Juice, by the way, but now I can't leave the complex. I really like the very, very. I'm just saying, there are downsides to being president. Nonprofit organizations like Five of Our Champions, what you've done is to be able to provide jobs and valuable mentorships to young people who are very deserving. So this year alone, Cabinet Secretaries and other administration officials co-hosted 25 Youth Job Plus roundtables in cities and towns across the country. Helped elected officials to enlist broad support from local partners, expand opportunities for young people, and although the Youth Jobs Program is essential to preparing our young people for the future, it's also deeply tied to keeping them in school and making sure that they continue to succeed there. That's why I've been pushing Congress to protect more of our young people from gun violence. Just last week we saw, obviously, another tragic example of the Navy Yard. But that, these mass shootings happen against a backdrop of daily tragedies in Chicago, South Side, West Sides, places where Deshaun knows very well and I know very well. These tragedies are happening every single day and end up being a barrier to success and make young people doubt their futures in ways that should never happen here in the United States of America. So I'm going to need your help to make sure that even as we're doing great work with businesses, great work with not-for-profits, we don't let Congress off of it, and we don't let government off of it. And so, early childhood education that is going to have a huge impact, whether the work that we're doing with the Department of Education to redesign our high schools so that they are more directly connected to community colleges and four-year universities and technical training and ultimately jobs, so that young people from the time they are in school can see the direct line between their success in the classroom and their success outside the classroom, whether it means keeping our young people healthy. By the way, in 5 days, the Affordable Care Act. Already it's allowed over 3 million young people to stay on their parents' health care plans. And youth unemployment has actually gone down over the last 3 years, something we have not seen in decades. So we're going to have a lot of work to do here in Washington, and we're going to have to keep on making the political argument that investing in our young people is an investment in ourselves and in our future and in this country. But in the meantime, we're not going to be able to do it here in Washington alone. So I want to say to all the partners, all the champions, everybody who's participated, thank you. To the young people who are involved, I'm proud of you. And I want you to know that this is just the beginning, because my goal is to make sure that over the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, we are institutionalizing mechanisms so that anybody who's out there who has a dream and is willing to work for it, that they're going to have a pathway to achieve that. And I know that I'm going to be committed to it. I know that people like Mayor Nutter and all of you are committed to it, but we're going to have to bring more people into the circle to make sure that happens. All right?
Yes.
So thank you very much.